The Wii U has slowly become one of my favorite home consoles to mod. It's been over 6 months since I made my first video covering Wii U modding as of the time of this video, and I've definitely played a ton of games, mods, and added a lot more when it comes to Homebrew in that time. So in this video, I want to show you all what's on my Wii U as of 2026, what I've added, changed around, and what I use it for after having it modded for a while now. But if you haven't yet, go check out my first video on the Wii U. There I cover some hacks like 4XM, Mario Kart Generations, Cloudy Super Mario Bros. U2, and cover some homebrew ports like Ship of Arcinian, along with some apps. It was definitely one of my favorite videos to make, and this one was as well. I'll be discussing Virtual Console Injects, specifically GameCube, and some homebrew ports that I think are worth checking out. Anyways, please like and subscribe if you enjoy, and without further ado, let's hop right into it. So here's my home menu on my Wii U. It's definitely a lot different compared to a few months ago. I've installed a custom theme, this one being the Cloudy Day theme. I also added and removed some games as well. So I've got some heavy hitters like Smash Wii U of course, Mario Maker, Pikmin, Game & Wario, Nintendo Land, Kirby, Tropical Freeze, Woolly World, and some homebrew forwarders for the Wii. Now over here I have some really cool Virtual Console injections for games like Brawl, Mario Kart Wii, Return to Dreamland, and New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Though Galaxy 2 is just the standard Virtual Console title. Of course, what stands out the most here are the GameCube injects. I made injections for some ROM hacks like the Akanea build, Double Dash Plus and Extended, Luigi's Mansion Premium Deluxe, Mario Eclipse, Mario Party 4 Deluxe, and Pokemon XG. I'll talk about these again later in the video, and I have some things to share to help you set this up if you'd like. I've also added some homebrew ports like Sonic Mania, Five Nights at Freddy's, Cuphead, and more. I'll mention these again later too. Regarding homebrew apps, I haven't added much more here, just the standard helpful apps and tools like the Wii Compat Installer, Wii U Shell, Moonlight, Web Installer GX2, Boot to Preloader, and System Font Replacer. Of course, the main reason I even bought this console in the first place was to play some original Wii U titles, Nintendo Land being one of those. I don't think I can say what hasn't already been said about this game, it's just so good and probably one of the many reasons to own a Wii U at all. I love how it makes such good use of the gamepad and motion controls, most of the attractions are very fun, and with most of them being on the shorter side, it makes the game a bit more replayable. I think it also has a good balance of single player and multiplayer minigames. Overall, super nice to come back to this game once in a while. I won't go full review mode here for the rest of these, but I want to highlight some more games I've been revisiting and checking out. Wind Waker HD is my favorite way to play this game. I really just love the graphical upgrade here. To be honest, I haven't played much of this game. I have played some of it on my Wii and GameCube, but I didn't really try to make much progress there since I plan on beating the game on the Wii U, and I can also say the same thing for Twilight Princess. I personally think the Wii U versions of these games are the best way to play them. Super Mario 3D World has become one of my favorite 3D Mario games. I just love the compact level design, movement, and replayability. I actually just beat the Switch version of the game recently. With that said, I much prefer the Switch version to the original Wii U version. Coming back to this one, I was hit right away by the slower movement, the lack of diving, and lower resolution. I still think it's a great version of the game since it is on the original hardware, and I have enjoyed coming back to it, but yeah, the changes in the Switch version just win me over big time. Minecraft on the Wii U has always been a version of the game I've wanted to try out, and I have to say it's pretty decent. Performance isn't the greatest from my experience, I had a bit too many frame drops in certain map packs, especially when playing split screen, but this is still a great version of the game in my opinion, and of course, the Mario Mashup pack is still great. I actually bought the original version of Minecraft on my Switch back in late 2017, so that was the main way I played it for a while. So this was not my first time playing the Mario Mashup pack. Smash 4 has been one of my favorite games to come back to here. I played this game a lot when I was a kid, but I mostly played the 3DS version. I recently looked back at my 3DS activity log, and it turns out I put over 700 hours into the game. Anyway, coming back to this game nowadays, it just feels so slow compared to Smash Ultimate, which is why I love the 4XM mod pack for the game. Pretendo is also keeping this game alive, and it's super nice to be able to actually play For Glory again. But this game's online connection has just never been good from my experience, on both the Nintendo Network and Pretendo. Alright, moving on to some hardware compatibility. I want to take a moment to talk about the Gamepad and Pro Controller. I just love the ergonomics and feel of this thing. It's super comfortable, the buttons and sticks feel great, and it's pretty lightweight. But for my use, the battery life is just horrible. So I decided to pick up a replacement. This is the Pickle Power battery. I got it off Amazon for about 20 bucks, and it's actually pretty good. I doubt it's the capacity that they claim it is, but I can actually go about a month of no use without charging this thing. And it lasts more than double the time of the original while playing. The Wii U Pro controller is actually super comfortable too, and I really thought that the stick layout would bother me, but honestly I think it works just fine. Now, compared to the Gamepad, the Pro controller's battery is just phenomenal. I haven't charged this thing in about 4 months. I figured the low power usage also has something to do with the fact that this thing doesn't have motion controls, which is the only real downside I would give it. Onto some more controllers I tested using Koopair. So of course the Switch Pro controller works great, honestly it's my preferred controller for most games here. I tried some third-party PowerA controllers, both the enhanced wireless and nano both work too. I also tried my Joy-Cons, these I didn't have much luck with, they only paired individually and not as a pair, so I don't think I'll be using these. The Xbox Series and Xbox One controllers both gave me no results, no surprise here really. I believe there is a way to get them to work wirelessly, but I honestly don't care enough for these controllers to give that a shot. The DualShock 4 however works just fine, and the DualSense as well, this one being the Hex Gaming Phantom. Check out my review of it if you haven't. Overall, there's a ton of controller options to use with the Wii U, and it's just so cool to be able to use a majority of my controllers with no issues. Now, moving on to the Virtual Wii side, I haven't changed much here. I don't really find myself using it much. I honestly still prefer my original Wii for Wii stuff, mainly for the GameCube controller, memory card, and disc support. But I do occasionally play some of my Wii games here, specifically some hacks. Here I have Mario Galaxy 63, playing with the Classic Controller Pro thanks to Super Hackio's Classic Controller patch. I've mentioned it a few times before, and it's super nice that you can stack it on top of other Revolution patches. Besides that, I do occasionally load up USBLoaderGX if there's a game I want to play that I haven't made a Virtual Console Inject for, or it doesn't work as one. Moving on to some more Homebrew ports, first up we have Clancy's Sonic Mania port. This, like all the other ports of this game I tried, is utilizing the RSD KV5 decompilation for Mania, and works phenomenally on the Wii U. The full game is playable here, including bonus stages and extra modes, and unlike the Wii version, the special stages run great. Also, the game does have mod support. I tried 2 pretty big mods, the first being Speedster Mania Revival, which ran and looks great. This mod completely changes a lot of character sprites, animations, and overhauls the UI and HUD. So far it's been a pretty good experience on the Wii U. I did have a small issue with this one when choosing Encore mode, where the game would not load properly on my existing save, and creating a new one fixed it. The second mod I tried was Mastered UI Mania Revival, which you guessed it, lets you play as Sonic with Ultra Instinct. This one is just awesome too. I've also had no issues with the special stages either for both of these mods, and I'll definitely check out some more to see which ones work with this port. Before we continue, I want to quickly show you how to enable a mod with this port. On the gamepad, tap the top left corner of the screen and a menu will pop up. From there, scroll to mods, and your list will appear. Scroll through whichever mods you want to turn on, and press right on the D-pad. Once it says Y next to the mod, it's enabled. From there, press B and restart the game, and your mod should load up. Make sure you're aware of any potential conflicts you might have by having multiple mods on at once. Next, we have Teaspoon Studios' Five Nights at Freddy's ports for both 1 and 2. For the first game, this is a really good port of it in my opinion. It takes full advantage of the gamepad, with it acting as the controller and camera, leaving the TV and office screen completely untouched. I think this reduces the difficulty a bit since you're able to see both screens at once, open the camera and close the door at the same time, but besides that, the gameplay is the same as the original. It took me a bit to get used to the controls, especially since it uses the stylus a lot, but I really love just having the gamepad be its own thing instead of just mirroring the TV screen. The second game is more of the same idea here, letting you use the gamepad as the camera, but since there's so much more going on in this game, it helps curve the difficulty a lot more than the first game. You can wind the music box and check the vents at the same time. You can wear the mask while checking the cameras, but you can't wear it while winding the music box. I feel like for this game it really ramps up the intensity since I think it's a bit harder to focus on both screens at the same time, and honestly, I really like it. Next, we have the Latte Team's port of Cuphead. This is a recently released port of the game for the Wii U, and it looks great. Performance here is pretty good. It targets 60 FPS, and in a lot of parts of the game, it hits it pretty well. But from my time playing, I did notice pretty frequent frame dips in certain parts of the game.
Not always during gameplay, but when walking around certain parts of the map and interacting with certain characters and being in levels with a bunch of enemies on screen, I did notice the FPS drops. Also, load times are a bit long as well, but I can't really complain too much given that this is a Wii U port.
Also, this game only works properly when being installed to a USB hard drive or flash drive.
Controls here are also really good. I like how it lets you pick between the Gamepad, Wii Remote, Wii U Pro Controller, and Wii Classic Controller. Overall, I'd say it's a pretty good port.
And lastly, we have the GTA ports for 3 and Vice City. GTA 3 is a pretty standard port, it runs at a consistent 29 to 30 FPS, and the controls are decent. I've had no issues with this one. Vice City also runs at a consistent frame rate.
I have to say though, I like this game a lot more.
And this was honestly my first time playing it. Both of these ports are pretty easy to find on the internet,
and I'd say it's a pretty decent way to play them.
To close out the video, I have a few things to share regarding setting up the GameCube ROM hack Virtual Console Injects. In the description, you'll find a link to download an icon pack I made to use with UWU VCI.
It also includes config files you can use with the program.
I also have a tutorial posted on my second channel, Falcon GX Plus, so go watch that video for the guide and subscribe to that channel for tutorials. This is such an awesome thing to have on the Wii U, and I found myself using it a bit more and playing my GameCube games through this method.
It makes booting and playing these games on the Wii U so much more convenient, especially because you can use the Gamepad here.
Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and don't forget to join my Discord linked in the description. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and see you all soon.